Jesus, the Good Shepherd, walks tirelessly through the rough terrains of life seeking the lost. His promise is not just to guide but to restore, to carry the weary upon his shoulders. He knows each of his sheep by name, their fears, their struggles, and their joys. When darkness surrounds and the path seems treacherous, his voice becomes the beacon that leads us to safety. He reminds us that no valley is too deep for his reach and no mountain too high for his care. In his presence, the lost find their home. The Good Shepherd's promise is one of unfailing love and protection. His staff wards off dangers, and his rod corrects our wayward steps. Even when we stray, his patience never runs thin. He seeks us out with relentless devotion, rejoicing over every soul that returns. Through storms and trials, his presence remains constant, a refuge for those battered by life. His care isn't fleeting, it is eternal, unchanging. With him, the flock finds peace, for his love creates a sanctuary where fear has no place and grace abounds. In the quiet of the morning, the Good Shepherd's voice calls, inviting the flock to follow him to green pastures. His promise is one of provision, ensuring that none go hungry or thirsty. He leads us beside still waters, where we find rest and renewal for our souls. Even when the journey leads through barren lands, he ensures we lack nothing. His presence is a reminder that abundance isn't found in material wealth, but in the richness of his love and faithfulness. Trusting him, we discover the true meaning of contentment. The Good Shepherd's promise shines brightest in moments of despair. When shadows loom and hope seems distant, his gentle hand reaches out, lifting us from the mire. He does not abandon the brokenhearted. Instead, he binds their wounds with compassion. Every tear shed is known to him, every silent cry heard. His commitment to his flock is unwavering, a testament to his deep love. In him, we find solace, knowing that no pain is too great for his healing touch. His promise is our anchor amidst life's tempests. As the Good Shepherd, Jesus' promise extends beyond mere guidance. It's a covenant of life abundant. He ensures that his sheep are not only safe, but thrive under his care. His love is proactive, anticipating our needs before we voice them. When dangers lurk, he stands as our shield, confronting the wolves that threaten. His sacrifice exemplifies the depth of his devotion, laying down his life for the sake of the flock. In him, we experience security and a peace that surpasses understanding, knowing we are eternally cherished. The Good Shepherd's promise is one of unity and belonging. In his fold there is no division, no outcast. Every sheep is valued equally, regardless of past mistakes or current weaknesses. He gathers the scattered, mending relationships and restoring harmony. Under his care we learn to love as he loves, extending grace and forgiveness to one another. His leadership fosters a community where differences become strengths, and togetherness reflects his glory. In him, we find not just a shepherd but a family united in purpose and love. Jesus' promise as the Good Shepherd includes rest for the weary. He calls out to the burdened, offering a yoke that is easy and a burden that is light. In his care, the restless find peace and the anxious find calm. He provides shelter from the chaos, a haven where the soul can breathe freely. His peace is not circumstantial but deeply rooted in his unchanging character. Trusting him, we learn to release our worries and embrace the serenity he offers. His promise is a balm for the troubled heart. The Good Shepherd's promise transforms lives. He takes the weak and makes them strong, the fearful, and fills them with courage. He does not see us as we are but as we can be under his care. His guidance is not just for survival but for growth, leading us toward our fullest potential. Through him, we find purpose and direction, understanding that our lives are part of a greater plan. In his hands, every stumble becomes a stepping stone, every challenge an opportunity to grow closer to him. In his role as the Good Shepherd, Jesus promises joy, not fleeting happiness, but a deep, abiding joy that transcends circumstances. He celebrates every victory with his flock and shares in their delights. His joy becomes our strength, a source of resilience in difficult times. He reminds us that even in the darkest valleys there is light, and in sorrow there is hope. His presence infuses our lives with a divine gladness that cannot be extinguished. Following him, we discover that true joy is found in his unchanging love. The Good Shepherd's promise is eternal. He assures us that his care doesn't end with this life but extends into eternity. He prepares a place for his sheep, a home where pain and death no longer exist. His guidance leads us not just through earthly trials but toward a heavenly inheritance. His promise gives us hope, reminding us that our journey has a glorious destination. In him, we find confidence for the future, knowing that his love never fades and his care never ceases. His eternal promise is our greatest comfort. Jesus' promise as the Good Shepherd is one of freedom. He leads his flock out of bondage, breaking the chains of sin and fear. His guidance brings liberation, allowing us to walk in the fullness of life. Under his care, we are no longer bound by guilt or shame, but walk confidently as redeemed souls. He empowers us to face life's challenges with courage, knowing that we are no longer slaves to our past. His promise is freedom to live abundantly, fully embraced in his grace and mercy. The Good Shepherd's promise includes wisdom for the journey. He guides his flock with unmatched knowledge, steering us away from pitfalls and leading us toward righteousness. His word becomes a lamp to our feet, illuminating the path ahead. When decisions weigh heavy, his wisdom provides clarity and assurance. He teaches us to discern his voice amidst the noise of the world, fostering a trust that grows with each step. In his guidance, we find the confidence to navigate life's complexities, knowing that his wisdom is perfect. As the Good Shepherd, Jesus promises unwavering faithfulness. He does not abandon his flock in times of trouble, but remains steadfast. When storms rage and doubts arise, his presence is our anchor. He reassures us that his promises are true, his love unchanging. His faithfulness becomes the foundation of our trust, enabling us to stand firm. Even when we falter, he holds us securely, reminding us that his commitment is not based on our performance but on his unending grace. In him, we find a constant refuge. The Good Shepherd's promise is one of protection. He shields his flock from harm, standing as a barrier against the enemy. His vigilance ensures that no threat goes unnoticed, and his power guarantees that no harm prevails. He watches over his sheep day and night, never slumbering. His protection is not passive but active, fighting battles on our behalf. In him, we find safety, knowing that no weapon formed against us shall prosper. His promise is our assurance that we are never alone in the face of adversity. Jesus' promise as the Good Shepherd is peace amidst chaos. When life's storms rage, he speaks, "Peace, be still." His presence calms the troubled heart, silencing the noise of fear and doubt. He leads us beside still waters, where our souls find rest. His peace is not fleeting but enduring, a gift that sustains us through every trial. Trusting him, we learn to face life's uncertainties with a calm assurance. His promise is a reminder that peace is not the absence of trouble but the presence of the shepherd. The Good Shepherd's promise is one of guidance through life's uncertainties. He walks ahead, clearing paths we cannot see, and ensuring that every step we take leads closer to his will. His presence is a compass, pointing us toward righteousness and truth. Even when the road ahead is shrouded in mystery, his voice brings clarity. He reassures us that we are never alone in our decisions, and that his wisdom is sufficient for every choice. His promise gives us confidence to move forward, trusting that he leads us to goodness and mercy. Jesus' role as the Good Shepherd includes nurturing the spiritual growth of his flock. He feeds us with his word, nourishing our souls and strengthening our faith. His teachings become the foundation upon which we build our lives, equipping us to face challenges with grace and conviction. He encourages us to grow, pruning away what hinders and cultivating what flourishes. Under his care, we mature in love, patience, and understanding. His promise is not just to lead but to transform, ensuring that we reflect his image more each day. The Good Shepherd's promise is one of steadfast hope. He reminds us that no matter how dark the night, morning always comes. His presence is the assurance that trials are temporary and victory is certain. He encourages us to persevere, knowing that his plans for us are good. When despair threatens to overwhelm, his voice whispers promises of restoration and renewal. His hope becomes the anchor of our souls, grounding us in his unwavering faithfulness. In him, we find the strength to endure, believing that better days lie ahead. Jesus, as the Good Shepherd, promises comfort in times of sorrow. He is close to the brokenhearted, holding them in their grief and wiping away their tears. His compassion knows no bounds, meeting us in our pain and offering solace. He does not dismiss our struggles but enters into them, sharing the burden of our heartache. His presence brings a peace that surpasses understanding, reminding us that we are never alone in our suffering. His promise is a balm for the wounded soul, offering healing and hope in the midst of despair. The Good Shepherd's promise is one of unshakable love. He loves his flock not because of their perfection, but in spite of their flaws. His love is unconditional, a constant that does not waver with circumstances. He pursues us even when we wander, rejoicing when we return. His love is the foundation of his every action, from guiding to protecting to sacrificing. It is a love that transforms, calling us to love others as he loves us. In his care we find the ultimate expression of grace and the assurance that we are forever his.